Good, bright and beautiful Monday afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Garden State Weather Premium on YouTube, Garden State Weather, and Garden State Weather Forecast on Facebook, and when available, Garden State WX on Twitter. I'm meteorologist Robert Smith. It's sunny and 55 here at the Weather Center in West Orange and in New Brunswick. At the Rutgers University Meteorology Program, it's a beautiful 57 degrees. Winds are out of the south-southeast at about 6 to 8 miles per hour. A few cool spots this afternoon at about 4:15. Vernon Township still holding on to 44. 47 at Harvey Cedars. This is about normal now for this time of the year. High Point about 47, give or take a degree or two. Seagirt at 48 and Fortescue at 49. Those are the cool spots. The warm spots, Sicklerville at about 61, also in Toms River and Berkeley Township, 60 in Mannington Township and West Deptford. And the winds, not much going on. They're a little gusty here, 15 to 20 miles an hour. A few gusts here in Berkeley Township and right along the immediate coast. Air temperatures this afternoon are ranging anywhere from the low 50s here, right around High Point here at 50, 52 at Sandy Stawn, so that's good. And we've got other temperatures here basically running in the 50s to even some low 60s. It's a little bit cooler along the Barrier Strand Islands here, but not bad for this time of the year. That's about normal. Even above normal for these locations right along the Barrier Strand coast. Not a bad looking afternoon across the country per se. We still have some river flooding here in the Tennessee and Mississippi River valleys here. Florida is quite nice and warm. Temperatures are in the mid to the upper 70s. 76 here. That looks like it's Key West here. And we'll hone in on this in just a moment. Temperatures back here in northeastern New Jersey and the New York City metropolitan area quite mild for this time of the year. And it's even going to get milder as we head through the week. Got a new storm system coming into the west coast right now. There's our upper level low south of the Gulf of Alaska here, pushing in a couple of warm fronts, cold fronts, and trough axes here. So it's going to get a little stormy here across Washington and Oregon's west coast here, and over the intermountain areas here to the north. Meanwhile, over the Great Lakes, there are still some vestiges of colder air, and we have just a few places here that are reporting some snow and some advisories, but for the most part, things are relatively quiet. Not really a lot going on across the nation, except for this upper level low here in the southern plains here with a couple of vortexes working their way around it. Some precipitation here, a little bit scattered around the center of the low here, and our new storm system bringing in some rain across the Cascades and the Washington area here, and just a streak of light snow across the Wisconsin into Michigan and the Great Lakes area. Notice the flow here now is pretty much west to east, excepting for this area here in the country, but this should be ejecting eastward, probably give us some rain showers as we head towards Thursday. So we're some 5-7 degrees above normal this afternoon across the region. Tomorrow we're going to get even warmer into the low and mid 60s in the New York City metropolitan area all the way down to the I-95 corridor. So we're definitely heading towards a spring pattern here. Temperatures again on Wednesday in the mid 60s, which is some 20 degrees above normal. And by the time we get to Thursday, we have some rain, but still above normal temperatures in the 60s, basically 60 to 63 degrees or so, not bad. And this is where we really warm up on Friday. We can have high temperatures here in the low to mid 70s. We'll check if those are any records for the date. Saturday comes along and still upper 50s to the north and low and mid 60s everywhere else. That's above normal. And temperatures still continue above normal on Sunday, with temperatures running in the 50s to around 60 degrees. And when we take a look at the daily high temperature anomalies here, we're some 5-7 degrees above normal today, some 13 to 15 degrees above normal tomorrow. Wednesday, about the same, 15-16 degrees above normal, really above normal again on Thursday, and even to the coast, and really, really warm. Some 15, 18, 20, 25 degrees above normal in spots here as we head into Friday. Still above normal by some 12, 13, 14 degrees here on Saturday, and Sunday still above normal by some 7 or 8 degrees. Not bad. Morning run of the European model guidance is 500 millibar cyclonic relative vorticity and height. Here's that upper level low here across the central and southern plains here. Um, and basically a west to east flow atop of that. Storm systems off of the Gulf of Alaska here, but nothing major here. And as that low moves out towards the southern plains and into the southeast, it's going to move off the coast because the direction of the flow here from the west is such that it will move out. But as it opens up and comes up the east coast, there could be some rain showers around the region on Thursday, and we'll get into that in details in just a moment. Outside of that, a couple of positive vorticity maximums here in both flows, the southern branch and the polar branch here. And notice the thicknesses here. So this is all warm air in here. Anything above 540 here in thicknesses at the 500 millibar level, that's pretty warm. And as we head into the weekend, it looks like everything is just going to dissolve itself. We have southwesterly flow and maybe a branch or two of another polar shortwave moving into southern New England, but it's really out of phase with the southern branch, so I'm not really expecting much in the way of trouble. And then here comes the ridge into the eastern United States, and we cool down a little bit, and then we really warm up again next week. This could be a thunderstorm outbreak here in the central and southern plains. We'll have to monitor this. And again, this looks like a Rex block, or not a Rex block, a block here, because we've got low pressure over high pressure. Rex blocks are high pressure over low pressure. So I can't remember the name of that kind of block. But anyway, as we head into next Tuesday across the central plains down to Texas here, this looks like it's going to provide showers and thunderstorms and squally weather, maybe even tornadoes. We'll have to get into that in a moment. Basically, I don't see any major storm systems here, but we're going to have to watch out for wet weather the following week on the 24th, as that disturbance here across the central and southern plains stretches out to the east coast. This is what it looks like on the charts here in terms of precipitation type. Here's our rain getting into the desert, into the southeast as we head into Wednesday. A few vestiges of some warm air advection. Maybe a disturbance here in the polar flow coming out from off the Great Lakes here, providing a few showers around the region. Most of this would be over southern New England, so I'm not really anticipating much here. And here comes the rain up the coast on Thursday night and Friday proper, and then it gets out of here. So Thursday is the main day for any kind of shower activity. We'll get into that in a moment. And here's our big storm system south of the Gulf of Alaska here. Additional shortwave energy riding up the spine of the Appalachians here as we get into Saturday. So Saturday could feature some warm air, but also some showery weather as well into the New Jersey, New York, Connecticut area. And it could still snow here in southern New England, believe it or not, but not so for our area. No. And then really high pressure just begins to build in. It's a very strong storm system out south of the Aleutian Islands here, and very strong high pressure over the west coast. So this is going to provide a number of things. It's going to direct rainfall like a jet into Washington and Oregon, but keep maybe California dry under that ridge. And we can see that showing up nicely. Now, this is what we're talking about for next week. With that jet streak, we're talking about very high precipitable water values here across the Arklatex area into the Ohio and Tennessee, Mississippi River Valley areas. We're going to have to watch this because this area in here could be conducive for tornadoes at this time of the year and very, very, very heavy rain. So we'll be looking out for that. Meanwhile, as that spreads gradually to the east as high pressure moves off the Atlantic coast, we're going to have some kind of a frontal wave here that's going to kind of like be slow, and the flow is going to be parallel. So everything from the south moves north along the front. It moves slowly in, and precipitation next Wednesday gets busy, especially anywhere along the east coast, including the northern mid-Atlantic area. And on the European model guidance for total snowfall here across the United States of America and Canada, well, any kind of snow is going to be located in these areas here in the Rockies and back into the higher elevations of the Northwest and the Pacific, southeastern Atlantic, Pacific Canada here, and south of the Aleutian Islands here, and portions of Alaska as well. Also portions of central and southern Canada here, and also portions of southern New England can still see some snow out of all of these features that move in from the polar branch. But everybody else, not seeing anything here. Nope. 10-day precipitation across the region. It's going to get quite wet right here along the northwestern coast here and south of the Aleutian Islands in Vancouver here, British Columbia. Also across the southern plains here, Arkansas, Mississippi, Tennessee, portions of Tennessee, actually Alabama, Georgia, even into the Carolinas and parts of Florida are going to get wet weather. And that wet weather is eventually going to stream up into the northern mid-Atlantic, and this feature is going to start filling in over the next 7 to 10 days, more so as we have very warm air and precipitable water values. Look at this. This is the strike of precipitation occurring from next Tuesday and Wednesday that we talked about here. This could be some severe weather in here. And also copious amounts of rainfall to the tune of 4, 5, 6 inches of rain here. Wow. Meanwhile, if we take a look at the United States and we get into New Jersey, we can do this right now. Over the next 10 days, still, it's going to be pretty busy and wet period. Not anticipating anything really until we get into Wednesday morning. And again, even that would be minimal. 1/100 of an inch on Wednesday afternoon with some cloud cover. And then the rain really starts filling in on Thursday and Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening, and it could get quite busy, especially from central and southwestern New Jersey into the Delmarva area. There could be quite a difference between just a couple of 100ths of an inch of rain here and lots of rain here in Virginia and Washington, Baltimore, and the corridors here just south of the I-95 corridor into Delaware. And there's more precipitation on the way, and as we head into the next 10 days, a total cumulative precipitation looks to be quite busy. So very active but warm patterns setting up. Taking a look at the high-resolution the European high-resolution model guidance going forward here, whatever snow or rain that's occurring over the Great Lakes will transcend into southern New England and really central and southern New York State and Connecticut and Rhode Island here. They're in the rain with thicknesses about 540 or higher. Could be a few spotty showers here in northwestern New Jersey come Wednesday morning too, Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, but that's out of here. And St. Patrick's Day right now looks okay in the city. There'll be some scattered showers around. Heavier rain will probably hold off until later in the afternoon as low pressure over the Chesapeake River Valley area heads offshore. And again, the rainfall on Thursday, if and when it does occur, will be pretty light over the New York City area. So I do believe that, if you're visiting St. Patrick's Cathedral for the annual Mass, or if you're going to the parade in New York City, should be fine. You should be in good shape. And then another disturbance here coming up the spine of the Appalachians here next Saturday could produce some warm air advection. 552 thickness this here. This is very warm air. And of course, any of these showers are capable of heavy downpours briefly, but looks like that system is going to occlude. And look, snow is still going to occur over southern New England. But for everybody else, it's rain under this warm pattern. And the low just moves directly over the top of us. So, Saturday could be pretty wet too. Not a washout, but there could be some heavy downpours, especially in the afternoon and evening hours here on Saturday as the low gets closer to the New York City Bight area and produces some, shower and thunderstorm activity is not out of the question under this domain, because right behind it is briefly some chillier air that will be building in, and the low pressure area will be heading up towards Boston and then into south of Maine here. So it's going to bomb out pretty quickly. And as it does so, the winds are going to increase, the pressure gradient will increase, and it's still March. So, you can get sleet, snow in southern New England and basically just rain to the south here. And some of the rain could be moderately heavy at times in spots. So we're going to be monitoring this. And then as we get past that area, comes another cold front through the area next Wednesday, but still with 558 thicknesses, temperatures are really, really warm in this pattern. But, we do have to be mindful for, some heavier downpours. And if we took a look at a slice for next Wednesday, for example, it's probably going to show rain of warm temperatures. EPS, mean sea level pressure members here. These are all the members here. Here's that storm over the southeast that we talked about. That comes up the coast, and one comes over the top out of Hudson's Bay, Canada here. So Thursday and Friday, this will be exiting, but we will have rain around here, unfortunately, during the day on Thursday, St. Patrick's Day. And then here comes the next center up the west spine of the mountains and the Appalachians here, riding right over the New Jersey coastal waters as we head into Saturday. So Saturday looks rainy too in spots. That heads out. Then high pressure builds in, and here comes the next area of low pressure centers here across the upper Midwest, getting into the Great Lakes and eventually the northeastern United States as well. So unsettled weather for the following Friday, the 25th here. And then eventually high pressure is going to slowly win out here. But it's going to be a very active pattern. And the total QPF mean off the EPS data shows just how wet over the next 15 days it's going to be from, let's say, the southern plains here into the southeast, into Florida, and up along the Ohio River Valley, the Tennessee River Valley, Mississippi River Valley here into the northeast. We're talking about a lot of rainfall here. Yeah, springtime rainfall coming in your direction. Also in the Cascades, this incredible amounts of rain that will be occurring here, like 7, 10, 15 inches here in spots. That's crazy. For southern New England, the northern mid-Atlantic here, the New Jersey, New York, Philadelphia I-95 corridor off of the EPS data from this afternoon. We'll start out here, and over the next 15 days, it's going to get quite busy. And over the next 15 days, there's going to be several inches of rainfall. So very active pattern is on the way. Just check the snowfall here. Snow depth, well, there isn't one now here, and as we go forward, there's not going to be any across our area. Really very little, basically nothing here. You'd have to go into New York State and southeastern southern New England here. Total snowfall with a 10-to-1 ratio off the EPS data for southern New England over the next 15 days. Again, you're going to have to go real far north here to get any kind of appreciable late, early spring, late, by this time it's spring on the 29th. So, but still, it's going to snow, but not so much here. Nope. Polar vortex, yeah. A big stratospheric warming event going on, but and the splitting of this is probably going to be the last of this until the polar vortex consolidates and just dies out here back over the top of the pole. It will, this signature here, as we get into Friday at about this 10 millibars here, about the height of the stratosphere, not completely, but close to it. Find a lobe here over southeastern Canada, and another one over the other side of the pole near Russia and the European countries here. And as we head into the next several days, this split here is going to occur as the high latitude blocking here, or the stratospheric warming event, actually gets consolidated and just really breaks up the entire vortex into the other side of the pole. So winter, unfortunately, in Ukraine and Russia and these countries here over the other side of the pole is really going to hamper effects of the war that's ongoing right now, but we have a west to east flow underneath this in the United States as the stratospheric warming event really gets going in about 10 days to March 24th. Bad news for them, but weather-wise, but good news for us.